hopefully
Yeah, Lydia.
tonight. And what I'm looking forward to, probably healing again.
You're looking forward to healing.
Just looking to heal and move on. Hopefully get into another relationship.
Yeah. Thanks, Lydia. We are so honored to have you here. And thanks for being that bold girl who just broke the silence. I know sometimes these conversations are hard to have. Yeah, thanks for being bold and for just coming on and telling us about yourself. So nice meeting you, Lydia. And I'm looking forward to get to know you more. All right.
Well, thanks for the invite. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, who is there?
Yeah, my name is Edith. I'm tuning in from Mombasa.
Hi, Edith.
I got the invite actually from my ex-husband.
I don't know. Wow, that was interesting.
I don't know why even he sent it to me, but I'm glad that he sent, because we are co-parenting. We have a daughter. I was married before, but it didn't work. So currently I'm divorced. And also what I'm looking for is for healing and probably learning to cope on this co-parenting, because sometimes when this person has hurt you so much, the last thing you want to do is see them. But then you have this daughter that you have to share co-parenting, so you have to see this person. So probably maybe just to learn and see how to go about it. But above everything, just my heart. I want my heart to heal.
Wow. Yeah. Thanks for being here, Edith. Yeah, and
yes, and I'm an accountant. I'm an accountant by profession.
Yeah, we celebrate you, and thanks for being here tonight. Yeah, we're definitely looking forward to journey together, and we appreciate your ex-husband for sending this link to you. How else would we have met Edith? Yeah, karibu sana. Good to have you here. Yeah, anyone else wants to go next? We're only going to allow 5, so we have 3 more to go. Hi. That is Judy or Jen? I can see both of you are live.
Helida.
Hi, Judy. Go ahead. Oh, Helida, go ahead.
I'm Helida Andere.
Hi, Helida.
But I have a candy shop in Donholm. I'm married, a mother of 3. I wanted to answer the first question, but a lot has hurt me, so I don't even know where to start.
Okay.
But maybe through the process, maybe I'll be able to share a few.
Oh yeah.
Currently, I feel married and single, but single. I don't know what to say. I'm not in a good place, and I hope to get some healing from here. Or maybe just the beginning of something good. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, thanks, Helida. Thanks for even the courage. Yeah, and even the vulnerability to just say you're not fine. Yeah, this is one of the spaces you'll realize it's okay not to be okay. You know, sometimes, especially as wives, as mom, as African women, we are really conditioned to always be fine. Even if you're not fine, so long as other people need you, keep on showing up. Yeah, and we're glad that we can just hold that space and be able to be sincere that, I'm not fine. Yeah, and we're really praying that even tonight, by just being here, there'll be some hope, some encouragement, and some good vibes for you. Yeah, but so happy to have you here, Helida. Thanks for showing up even when you're feeling that way. Yeah, we really appreciate you. Yes, which other hand is up?
I'm Judy.
Hey, hi, Judy.
I'm fine, thank you. So thank you so much for this encouraging group.
Yeah.
I'm from Nairobi. I work with Chinese company. Then again, I do network marketing with BF Suma company.
Yeah.
Wellness and health supplements. Yeah, I have been single for 11 years. And I'm a mother of 2. My son is 18 years and my daughter, she is 11 years. I'm also a minister in a church, Rehoboth Love and Care Ministry Church.
Yeah.
And I'm healed, yes, but I have fear to get into another relationship, and actually I'm in a pressure because of my kids. They want a complete family, and I don't believe that I can have a stable marriage again, and a serious man and a faithful man. That's why I'm here to be encouraged and to see that tomorrow is brighter than today. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Judy, and thanks for being here and for holding on to that hope. Yeah, that hope is very important, and for just being there and also hanging in there for your kids, in terms of just raising them and soldiering on in life. We really celebrate you. Yeah, thanks for being here. All right, the last person I'm going to give a chance is McKenna. And before McKenna comes up so that we can continue, I want to read from the chat section. So there's Anita. Hi, I'm Anita Lumumba. I am Forever Living Products business owner. My expectations is to empower myself and learn. One pick question one, my answer is infidelity. That is the most hurtful thing that has happened to you. Thanks, Anita, for sharing. So the ones who are coming in, I will encourage us to keep our video off so that you don't find your face on the live streams. That we are putting it out there because we want to reach as many wives and just ex-wives as we can. And Lucas, I am a caterer. Question A, I lost myself completely. Yeah, this is Lucas. She's a caterer. And that is one of the things that probably was most hurtful. That is number one in terms of the most hurtful thing in marriage, was losing herself. Rachel, I'm a wife, a mother, credit control consultant, looking forward to finding me. You're welcome, and we're so happy to have you here, Rachel. Lillian, I'm a handbag designer. I'm here today to heal and find inner peace. What would I tell my 16-year-old self? When everyone warns you about something, listen. You can't be the only one who is right. Wow, that is very wise and profound, Lillian. And Gladys Geshohe, author, publisher, information science lecturer. Question B, that is one of the things she will tell her 16-year-old self, is go for your dreams. Let nothing stop you. Wow, that's a good one. So good to see you here, Gladys. Emma, accountant and business person. B, she will tell herself, focus on your personal growth and chase your dreams fearlessly. Yeah, that's a good one as well. Josephine is a procurement officer by profession, an entrepreneur. She's a separated mom of 3. What she'll tell her 16-year-old self is life ain't easy. As you grow older, it gets tougher. Yeah, we definitely relate to that. Yeah, thanks for sharing, Jos. And Queen Were is saying, my name is Rose Were, a fashion designer and teacher. I am here to hear from other women. I was married for 20 years and currently separated, though we still talk and meet because of the children, especially graduation ceremony. It's not been easy, but here I am. Yeah, we are so glad you're here and we celebrate you, Rose. And Jennifer is a teacher by profession. And then Gladys is busy giving hugs here. Yeah, we appreciate you as well. These are the girls we need in the room. McKenna, Nancy, I don't want your hand to gander up there. I can see your hand is still up. Please go ahead and then I'll read the rest of the comments and just wrap it up.
All right. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
My name is Nancy McKenna. I'm a teacher by profession and an entrepreneur. I run a school transport business on the side. I've been married for 23 years. I have 6 children, blessed with 6 children. I got married quite young when I was 19. So I have a variety of children, big adults and small ones.
We celebrate all of them.
I thank God. Well, being married young, I actually lost myself. Marriage, the sweetness of marriage has not been there for quite some time. And I'm trusting God that through this empowerment platform, that I will be able to trust again. I'll be able to love again, to love my husband, because we are still together, but it's like you are there, but and I'm trusting God for a renewal in my marriage. And one hurtful thing that has happened to me as a wife, it's actually finances. And I reached a point, there's a time my own husband conned me. So that has been hurtful. My financial status with my husband has not been the best. So that has been one of our major problems in my marriage. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, thanks for sharing also, McKenna, and for just hanging in there and giving us hope, especially those of us who are probably feeling challenged. Maybe we've been there for a shorter time. Thanks for being that portrait of hope. We celebrate you. All right, I'll keep reading the chats now, and then we'll just jump in because of time. Purity, please keep helping me mute everyone, and then you can also mute yourself to make work easier. There's a lot of feedback, and we are recording this session so that the ones who will listen to it will be encouraged by it when it's audible in a nice way. Yeah, sometimes I know we come in, you don't even know where the mute button is, so we always try to also show grace. Yeah, but if you can mute yourself, please do. Asante. All right, and then coming back on the chat, there is Achieng. She's a project management professional. Her expectation is to find her voice so that she can advocate for herself. And then question B is the 16-year-old, what you'll tell your 16-year-old. It is okay to be different and follow your own path. Absolutely. And for those of us who are probably have friends who want to join, I can see we have already maxed out. We are at 100. So what you can do, I have shared the live link on the group. You can share that with them. And of course, those of us who maybe were also trying to log in, I've shared that so that they can join the live stream. It's on my YouTube channel. And then you'll be able to follow the sessions. I'll also keep on going there to check, especially when we have something that we need to discuss. Yeah, we'll just head there and engage you as well if you're joining from the live stream. Yeah, live stream, guys. Hey, hi, the YouTubers. And of course, the rest of us who are here as well. Hi. Yeah, so good to see everyone. Let me read the rest. So that I was on Achieng. So Achieng on question B, she says, it is okay to be different and follow your own path. Absolutely. And then Queen Were should tell her 20-year-old self, heal from childhood trauma before marriage, and then love yourself before falling in love. Wow, that is profound. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. And then Debbie is an administration professional. She is married, but single and lonely. And question B is that question of what will tell your 16-year-old self. Do you, girl, live life unapologetically? I love that, Debbie. And Rose O'War, Rosie is an insurance. She's been married for 27 years now. She lost herself 8 years ago. Advice is to look out for the red flags, focus on my personal growth and love me. Yeah, absolutely. And then Virginia is social development officer, civil service. Advice to her 16-year-old self, there's nothing wrong with you. You are perfect and worthy. Thank you for this moment, Paps. I love that as well. And then there is Oppo. Oppo is on, Violet is the one on Oppo. She's a customer service executive. She's a mother of 2. She's been separated for 2.5 years. I hope to heal and also figure out co-parenting as it's not easy. The most hurtful thing I ever went through in my marriage is walking in on my partner with another woman in our bed. Yeah, that must have been so hurtful. Yeah, hugs to you, Violet. And I don't know how I will ever forget that day, but I'm trusting God that somehow I will overcome. Yeah, we believe that with you. And then there's Sharon. Sharon is a psychologist. Question A, the most painful thing I've gone through as a wife has been with my in-laws. Yeah, that has been the most hurtful place for Sharon, the in-laws. Yeah, that space can be really thorny and very challenging. Joy, Geshohi is a private chef and also a psychological counselor. Newly married, expectations are to learn something new as on marriage as I'm still new. What I could tell myself, that is a 16-year-old, I hope. You will be stronger as you grow. Don't dwell on the past, and God should be your firm foundation. Absolutely. And Joy, we're so glad to have you here. Yeah, we really celebrate you for even being here to just invest in your marriage. I know sometimes when we're in the honeymoon phase, like myself, I just used to feel like I'm so judgy and I know it all, and we are serving them couple goals. You know, thanks for being here and just reminding us to keep on growing. Yeah, I always celebrate young wives as well and just young couples. You guys are amazing. And then Virginia, hey, I have people waiting outside to be let in. Yeah, we are sorry. We are full. We are full. Unless someone drops off, then we'll be able to add someone. But you can encourage everyone who is outside to join on the live stream. Yeah, right now we are maxed out. And then the other person is Lucy Kehara. Lucy is a property developer and other businesses, divorced after 18 years in 2018. Hurtful thing, that is the most hurtful thing in her relationship or second relationship. Hurting so much right now, so not even sure. Betrayal, anything that can be wrong is wrong. Wow, hugs, Lucy. Thanks for being here. Despite having everything wrong, thanks for just finding the courage to be part of this journey and community. And then we have Renee. I hope I've said it nicely. Is it Renee or Renee? Married for 10 years, mother of 2. She's a gender specialist. Expectation is to find me. And then on B, she will advise herself, do not rush into making a decision, be informed first. And then we have Priska. She's a nurse. I would like to learn how people survive in the marriage. I almost walked out of my marriage this year after my husband started cheating. Yeah, that must have been very tough. Priska, we really celebrate you for being here tonight. She's a mother of 1. She's been married for 4 years. And then we have Kemei. Brenda, I left when my so-called husband held a scissors, wanted to stab me in front of my son. Wow, that was a lot. That was a lot. And thanks for being here and even for sharing, just being vulnerable. Yeah, we celebrate you. All right. And then the other person, Kemei has shared about, I'm Brenda, a single mother of 2, walked out of my marriage this year in 2023. That is on July. Yeah, thanks for being here. Hugs to you. And then Anu Anjiro, secretary and customer service manager. She's a mother of 2, married for 6 years now. She's here to learn the good and learn the bad and hope to get more insight on how to keep going. And then on question 1, she's been through ups and downs in marriage, but she believes it works and both parties work on it. Absolutely. Yeah, thanks ladies for sharing and for just letting us in on your life. I know being vulnerable is tough, but one of the things is that there's nobody who will heal when their clothes are on. That is for sure. I'm just talking that sitting here as a life coach, as a psychologist, as a wife as well. All our drama need to be out here so that, it stops tormenting us and stops only living in us, and we are going to just be unpacking all these things as we go along. So I'm going to switch off my video because I am not the focus of tonight. I want us to just focus on what we are learning and everything that is happening. And so good to see us here. And those who are also joining us on YouTube, we really see you over there. I don't know whether we have comments on YouTube. I will definitely not want to factor in our YouTube squad. Let me see. Just a quick one. And those of us who are here, I hope you have your notebook and you are ready to learn. Now there's this video here that is playing. Make sure you grab your notebook. Those of us who are here so that we can write something. We'll also do some activities. So I'm sure we'll all have fun together. I hope nobody is stranded. I hope you have confirmed that your friends are able to join us online. I can see we have 31 over here. Yeah. We actually have one comment here on YouTube. Want you guys on YouTube to also feel included. Thanks for joining in on this live. No. I'm trying to read this comment and I ain't. All right, yeah, I've seen it. So there's Eva Gashaja. She is also known as Shoni. Yeah, Eva, that's a cute name. She works online as a virtual assistant. Her expectation is to learn and grow as a married lady. Question B, where probably is this the 16-year-old, the advice you will give to your 16-year-old self on submission as a biblical principle works? I'm not sure about that. And then Mary Kanja, she's a psychologist. She expects to find her. And how do I separate me and being a wife? And by the way, if you have any questions, even as we shall be having this session, make sure you keep on throwing them in, especially in the group. If you are here and you're not in the WhatsApp community, unfortunately, we'll not be able to follow up. We are creating that community so that all of us are in there. We will only be doing one communication on the WhatsApp community. And so for those of us who are not there, I'm sure, Purity, you can probably copy the link and then you share it here, or any of us. By the way, all of us can participate in this. Maybe those of us who are tech savvy, just take a quick one from the group and then you post it on the chat here, on the Zoom, so that those of us who are not in the WhatsApp group can just jump on. Yeah, please make sure no one is left behind, because even now, whatever assignments we'll have and the conversations we'll be having tomorrow, we'll have it on the group. And then we come back here for the webinar and then we go back to the group. So that is like where we go home to, and then we debrief on what has been happening. We share our stories, our conversations, whatever we shall learn here tonight, we shall process it in the group. All right, let me jump in. I can see we are at 8:25. Good time to keep going. All right, so if you have ever participated in this, you've ever seen this photo in any other webinar, you are forbidden. That will be canvassing if you participate. But the rest of us who probably we are meeting for the first time, I want you to spot me. Which of the three girls do you think is me? So you can describe by what I'm wearing. All right, I can see Rose has added on. I can see we have more chats here. We will come back to them later. If you have any questions so that I don't miss it, yeah, please feel free to share it here, and then probably we will go through the questions on the last day. But of course, I will try as much as possible to also respond to the ones that have quick answers. And then the rest, we can even probably, I can do voice notes on the group, so you can also ask questions on the group. That will also be a quick way of answering them. Lynn is in treasury. She's a treasury accountant, married for 10 years, mother of 2. She wants to learn how to rekindle their first love. Yeah, that's so beautiful. And I will advise my teen not to compare her marriage and to learn to live and cleave with a partner. Yeah, that is the advice to your 16-year-old. And then Rose is a marketing executive for 15 years now, separated, a mother of 3. Most hurting is infidelity. I'm here to learn and unlearn. And then Celine is married for 22 years, being there because of kids. That has been the hardest thing. All right, and then now we come to this fun part of the questions. Jessica is saying it's the one in white. And then Rachel Anasema, the yellow one. Yeah, Gladys, thank you for sharing the WhatsApp link. Yeah, so those of us who are here and maybe you're not in the WhatsApp group, please jump in there. And then Judy is saying the one in white. Christabel Anasema white. Kemei Brenda Anasema baby in yellow dress, one in yellow, one in yellow, one in white. Wow, nobody is suspecting that I'm the one in the pink, purple, cute top. Aching is saying the yellow. You're standing in the white dress, cute babies. Yeah, the one in white. All right. Anyone else wants to take a guess? What if all of you are wrong? What if I am not even in this photo? Just an example. Anyways, I'm actually the one in the yellow dress. Yeah, that is me. And I used to be a very hyper baby. The only way to contain me to last for a photo was to hold me down. The way my elder sister is spinning me down. Yeah, that is our firstborn, Gladys. Unfortunately, she passed away so many years ago. That was in 2001. And then we have Eva. She's amazing. She's the one who runs the Bold Singles. So those of us who are single, maybe you trusting God to be in a community of singles as well, will actually be, Eva will also be a good plug. And then I am there pinned down to hold me down. And please do not be fooled. This is photo number 2. When we were taking our selfies or the alone photos, this was me. And don't be fooled by there. I was not shy here. There's a carrot down here. Actually, the full photo was a carrot. Apo chini pakona carrot. I used to be hungry throughout when I was a baby. Yeah, my mother keeps on saying I used to wake up at night, kukula ugali na chai, like I'm those children, who always used to look full even when you're hungry. And then this is my pain as a child. And even today, as you come here as a wife, whether you're 50, whether you're 60, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, it's important for you to keep in touch with your inner child, because that is the person who has the proof is in the pudding. This person knows a lot of things about you. They've always been there. And for me, my pain, especially when I was a child, I had a labeled and shamed personality. First of all, because I was too talkative, I was all over. I used to just look like that annoying child. And I always used to feel like there's something wrong with me. Until the day I went into a psychology class, and all of a sudden, it was in 2007, I sat there and I figured out, by the way, I'm okay. I'm okay. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm just different. I'm the different person in our family. And most of the times, people who are usually black sheep in family, it's just because they're different. Sometimes, most of the times, they're actually not wrong. They're just opinionated. They just see world in different colors, which is fine. Because most of the times, the trauma bonding in families is trying to make everyone look at life with the same lenses. We want everyone to see life as green or as red, but we don't realize we are a beautiful family because everyone has their own colors and everyone has their own perspective, and we bring that richness into our families. And then the other thing about me, I was a below average performer. Like my grades were not grading. And I remember it was so frustrating for me. I used to feel like I really work hard and have nothing to show for it. And I really empathize with children as a life coach. who works with children, preteens and teens, in terms of sometimes there is more to grades in children. And it's important for us to help them see that more, especially in this time and age. And the other thing about me, I was a depressive and suicidal teenager when I was 15. I had called it a day. On that day, it was on 27th December 1999. That night, I was just like, I'm done. I just felt like nobody wanted me. Nobody loved me. Nobody understood me. Oh, who is this? Anne, please mute yourself. Okay, there you go. And so depressive and suicidal teen, and it was such a tough season. And I just feel like those 24 years ago that God brought me out of that, everything that has ever happened in my life since then, I just keep on feeling like, see God, see God, see God. And I always pray that I will always live in that gratitude mode of just reminding myself, you are the 16-year-old who was suicidal. Everything else that has happened in your life has been God. And then, of course, after that, post high school, I ended up doing a career that I didn't like. I did IT. Well, thank God, at least I've put up my website. I love designing flyers like the poster that most of you saw. Those are some of the things that I do in my just creative time, you know. But beyond that, I did a career I was not passionate about. And later I had to really spend a lot of years rerouting and, you know, just slaving away to even be able to pay for myself to go through campus. It was a real journey trying to reroute. And it took 16 years cumulatively for me to come to a place where I was now feeling like there's clarity in my life and I'm confident about the direction that my life is going into. And so what was my process? I have had moments of 360 degrees turnaround. First of all, I grew up as a doormat. I never had a say. When I was in Form 1, I was mobbed justice by a group of girls because I couldn't even be able to respond to something that I was being accused of, you know? And all my life, like just growing up, I grew up, I was a very confident child and then I lost it. And I was just this very withdrawn, quiet person who was just totally caving in. And then being able to, over time, come to this place where I'm assertive. It doesn't matter who I am with, I'm able to speak up and really say what I want and really go for what I want and really keep on meeting my needs as well. And then the other thing is moving from people pleasing to living by my values and convictions wherever I am. Like that is such a strong place for me. And I was such a people pleaser. Guys, when I was 22-year-old, I remember going for 3 weddings in one day just because I wanted to impress everyone. Huku unaenda na motorbike, unaenda unasalimia bride kwa nyumba, hiyo ingine una make sure umewave hapo kwa aisle akiingia, hiyo ingine una make sure uko kwa reception. So you'll just prioritize. Like I never knew how to say no. And then at night I will really go to bed feeling so bad about who I was. I will really be beating myself. And then of course, the other thing, I moved from shame to timidity and just having this unapologetic confidence that I really hope everyone can come to, where you stop apologizing for who you are, you stop apologizing for what you need to be and also for meeting your needs. And it comes from a place of inner confidence. It is not this arrogant kind of confidence. Unapologetic means that I'm not even ashamed of my mistakes. I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of my failures. I own up everything and I wear me proudly. And then, of course, the other thing is also moving from my passions to professional coaching. This has been a journey of 20 years that I'm going to tell you about. And in terms of my calling, what do? I am a professional confidence and wellness coach. I've been certified in these areas. And then the other thing about myself, I'm a psychologist, trained in 2007. It's been such a long journey of evolving. And of course, I'm also a humanist. I just believe people should have the right perspective, how amazing he is and how he can really help us through life, regardless of all the detours we've gone through. I know many of us have gone through spiritual abuse. I've met girls who the church is the greatest place of put down. But you know what? We can still come to this place of being able to still enjoy God and being able to know him for ourselves. And then I'm also an author of 2 books and so many drafts. Yeah, I've done 2 books that have been published. Reconfidence is Get Your Bold Back, published in 2021. And then this year on May, I also had the privilege of launching my 2nd book, which is Leading Generations, about mentoring 21st century preteens and teens in Africa. And then I have so many other drafts that will be books very soon. And then I'm also a social justice and family enthusiast. Yeah, just wanting to see, you know, people in the communities and vulnerable communities and vulnerable places empowered. And one of the things that I'm doing is to journey with many organizations that are also mentoring young people, especially children who come from very vulnerable communities and very broken homes and just abusive backgrounds. And it's been such a joy to just see them come back to confidence, take full ownership of their lives and just become amazing people. I've also had 20 years track record of impact stories working with preteens, teens, women, and mentors. That has been 20 years. And of course, one of them is this guy called Machipo. I met him when I was in college, and he's such a beautiful story of a child who was in children's home at 12. I was just sharing this story yesterday with the mentors and seeing him becoming this amazing man. He was a guest of honor in our wedding, gave us a whole 10K. He was a groomsman. Right now, he has 3 kids. He's an amazing man. And of course, I'm married to James. We've been married for 11 years, and we have 4 children. 2 are adopted. They are 22 and 19. And then we also have 5 and a 9-year-old. We only have 1 girl, the one who is 9. All the rest, my boy child. And it's been such a joy just getting to raise these amazing children. This is where it all began. And this is the story of, can you guys see this? Why does it look like my screen has not turned? Can you see a group of girls looking like models? Yes, you can. Yeah, these are Hadassah wives. And this was the first, when we started Woman Arise, or rather when I started, when God called me to do this in 2016, I started with wives. And simply because I had been working with children, and I would just feel like there's such a sense of brokenness in schools and in churches as well. But most of the times when you reach further, you'll just realize those issues come from home. And of course, when you invite parents to the table who used to come, it used to be the moms. And that is where one day I went to a certain school to speak to parents. There were 62 parents and only one was a dad. All the others were moms and grandmas and aunties. You know, it was a school that was based in a slum. And I remember coming back home, I was like, okay, so where are those men? Who do they think they are? Mbona wale watoto? And then I remember God just putting this scripture in my heart. A wise woman builds her own house with her own hands, and a foolish woman tears down her own house with her own hands. And I think it really hit me. You know, it doesn't matter what this woman is going through, whether she's probably in an abusive marriage or probably with a passive husband or an absent husband or just solo parenting. If she's whole and she knows what she stands for, then it means whatever happens, she'll be able to pick herself up. And I think it was such a hopeful moment for me. And that is where the Hadassah Wives was born. It actually started as Hadassah Wives. And then, of course, later we evolved to Woman Arise, where we'll now do all these seasons together. And I remember this 2017 is very special. This was our first retreat. We were somewhere in Kiambu. We were almost 17 wives. Of course, these were the ones who love photos. We were here for it. Yeah, and these are amazing girls, you know, and it doesn't mean that we have perfect marriages as you look at us here. Maybe not, but one of the things that I look at these women and really admire is who they have become, how they have evolved, you know, and what they stand for. And of course, the other thing is these hugs. We call them hugs and tissues. We'll just have tissues there and we'll give each other these very deep hugs and we'll just speak a blessing to each other. Sometimes it's so good to just hear a life-giving voice speaking to you, especially when you're in those pits of helplessness. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't change him. I can't change my situation. But then I can get this nice, warm hug. And we've been giving these hugs. I've received so many hugs from these wonderful women who've gone through our programs. You know, we've gone up to season 17 and it's been hugs and hugs and hugs and lots of hugs. And I know some wives who've gone through and some women who've also gone through the Woman Arise are here. And I really see you and celebrate you as well. And so this is the Bold Wives journey that is starting tonight. And for the next 3 days, we shall be looking into this. So the first day, which is today, we are looking at the dream life. And then tomorrow we shall be looking at the reality check. And then the third day, we shall be looking at the bold moves so that it can be those bold wives. And when you think about the dream life, this is for you, or this program, this masterclass, this challenge is for you if you're married or you've ever been married. And it's also for you if you are tired of feeling broken and feeling stuck. You know, you're just tired of having this as your status. And then number 3, it's also for you if you're willing to put in the work. Honestly, coaching does not work until you work. It's just like playing soccer and all the other games. The coach is not in the ring, but he cheers you, gives you some tools and strategies that can be helpful so that you can do the work. And so I will encourage you. We have assignments every day. There are things we need to do. Please take them seriously. Whether you'll do them in your bathroom, you will probably drive off, go and sit somewhere in a deserted parking lot by yourself. create time to do this, and especially try to do this within the time frame of this program. Coaching is only helpful when the work is done real time. So don't tell yourself, I'll do this next week. I promise you next week, there will be other things waiting for you. And you might find yourself still stuck in the same place despite being here for 3 days, but you can put in the work. Maybe you not even have the money to invest in the next program that is coming up, the Bold Wives Masterclass. But if you do the work and you give it your best shot, this might be all you need for this season. And so just take it with both hands. This is a gift. Coaching is expensive. And I know so many of us know that. I could see from the sign up, some of us have done professional coaching, career coaching. You know that coaching is expensive. For you to be here tonight, just these 3 nights, it will cost you 15,000, but you are getting this for free. And I remember the guy who's doing our digital strategy was asking me, why do you do this program for free? And I'm like, it's because I know how impactful coaching is. And every now and then I will want women to experience coaching and to experience the power of transformation so that they can really be able to see. Sometimes we've gone for bad therapies, we've gone for bad coaching programs, we've had bad advice, but for you to still see that there are many other things out here that can work for you so that you keep on having hope and giving it a chance. And then, of course, the other thing is looking for a pro coach. If you're here and you're looking for someone who has done this for many years and they're happy to journey with you, you are also in the right room. And as you're thinking about your dream life, I want you to just close your eyes for a moment. I love doing reflections. They are very powerful and they also help you to totally be present. And before we do anything, I want you to breathe in and breathe out. I hope you are at home. If you are driving, please don't do everything we are doing here. I'm actually assuming that you are at home. Probably you are alone somewhere. I'll also encourage you to be joining these sessions when you are alone. You are in a place where you can really feel your emotions. You can express yourself. You don't feel awkward. Just make sure you're in that space, probably even for tomorrow and the other day if today is not perfect. But I want you to, if you're probably in a place where you're able to do some breathing and to be able to totally relax, I want you to just close your eyes for a minute, and then I want you to breathe in. And then breathe out. And then take another one, breathe in. And then breathe out. And then I want you to keep your eyes closed and just go back to your 5-year-old self. Most of the times in psychology, we usually say that is when you're conscious about yourself, in terms of you can remember scenes of your childhood from when you're around 5. I know there's some people, I've met clients who even at 8, they can't remember what was happening in their lives. There are people who have consciousness of even 3 or 4, they can remember what was happening. But let's just average it on 5. So imagine you're your 5-year-old self. You can remember that girl. There's nobody here who at 5 had hoped that they will be in a difficult marriage. They will be in a marriage that didn't work. They are heartbroken. Nobody, when we were young and we were little girls, dreamt about themselves and they were like, yeah, when I grow up, I want to get married and then get a divorce, or get married and then leave. All of us were hoping this was it. And you can remember how maybe some of us used to even dress up as brides when you are playing those Chamama and Chababa. You used to be that dream wife, All of us saw ourselves successful. And I just want you to remember that child and that little girl in you. And just ask her, what was she looking for? What did she want? What was her dream? What was her desire? What was she longing for? And even now, what is she longing for? Because that girl still lives in you, It doesn't mean because of all the things you've gone through, your life has been segmented and you are now an adult. No, that girl still lives in you. And that girl can still support you in your journey even right now. Because one of the things about that girl, she never gives up. Children don't give up. They don't have a sense of limitation. They don't have a sense of throwing in the towel. They don't lose their joy for too long. They're able to come back to joy sooner. And there are so many things that our inner child can keep on teaching us. And that is why even tonight, as we are doing this session on your dream life, just keep on remembering that you have all that you need. And I really love this scripture in 2 Peter 1:3, which says, His divine power has given us everything that pertains to life and godliness through the knowledge of Him. And so tonight there is hope for each one of us. And even as we do our next breath work, I want you to breathe in and I want you to allow that hope to just come into you. And then when you're breathing out, I want you to just release every weight and every burden that has been really weighing you down. I know it's been such a tough season for many of us. So tough. We don't even know how we are alive up to today. You don't know why. You don't have a mental breakdown. You don't know why you're still alive. Maybe some of us have even considered suicide, you know? And here we are. And so as you breathe in, just breathe life into those places. Breathe hope. Breathe into that 5-year-old that lives in you, that doesn't know what it feels like giving up. Can you imagine even 5-year-olds who are going through abuse? They totally show up playfully. A few minutes later, they'll just move on as if nothing happened. And it's because they just live in this mode of joy and innocence. They've just had this sense of exuberance of life. And I want you to breathe into that girl, because that girl is what you need to fight the battles that you're going through right now. And then when you're exhaling, just release it. So let us breathe in, breathe in. Allow all those places to receive life, and then breathe out. I don't know what you need tonight. Maybe you need peace, you need joy, you just need some sanity. Whatever it is, as you breathe in, I want you to just feel like those things are coming into your life. And then when you're breathing out, just release everything that is not serving you, everything that is not supporting you, all the things that are weighing you down, just release them. And so let us breathe in, and this time just breathe in everything that you need. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Once again, let's take a deep one. Breathe in. And then breathe out. Awesome. So we keep going. And our first story is the story of Esther. And why? It's because this book of Esther has 2 stories that all of us in this room can relate to. Well, there is Vashti, who's just been ousted out. We don't know whether Vashti had kids. Nobody talks about it. We also don't know whether Esther had kids. Nobody talked about it in the 10 chapters, you know? And I think it's so profound as we think about Esther to remind ourselves, it doesn't matter. Just forget your children for a bit and just be here as you. Just you, fully present and fully here for yourself. And when you look at Esther, she is Mrs. Success, or Mrs. Hauseras. And you see this photo that is here, it is a scene from the movie called One Night with the King. And I want you to go and watch that movie. It's actually on the group description. I know probably some of us have not read the description of the group. Maybe some of us have already watched this movie. Tunangojea kusikia what's next. Which other movie are we watching tomorrow? No, there's no other movie we're watching tomorrow. But the reason I shared this movie, it is because it is a story of a woman who is not in a perfect situation, but she's able to still fulfill her purpose. And that is what brings perfection into her life. And that will be the bottom line of our lives, thinking of ourselves as the bold wives. And of course, when you think about Esther, first of all, we go back and ask ourselves, what is her life story? Of course, you remember Esther is an orphan being raised by her uncle or cousin Mordecai. And then, of course, when she is in this place of being with Mordecai, of course, I can imagine, sometimes I usually think wildly about the Bible. I'm just like, let us bring it to 21st century. Maybe she had a boyfriend. Labda alikuwa na omosh mahali. And then, of course, they were planning, they will get married and do their thing. And then Mordecai, on the other hand, is so tired of raising Esther. Like, hey, chick, si uko na kipande? Nimesikia kuna by the way competition inaenda, wenda uka apply. You just go bana. Enda tu utajulia mbele hizo maneno. And so, of course, Esther goes. I can imagine she was not, crazy about being even the queen. Maybe that was not her dream. But then Mordecai is the one who recommended it to her. And so probably she had to give up her dreams in terms of what she wanted for herself. And then she goes, she now has to give up Omosh, heartbreaks and a bit of tears. And then, of course, later, she is going to contest. There were 400 of them. What are the chances among 400 you will be chosen? Some of us have never won even a matchbox in a lottery. Like myself, I've never won anything. These competitions, do raffles, baka za kanisa, me, I've never won anything. I don't know what happens. And so you can imagine Esther is standing a chance against 400 other women. She's supposed to be chosen. And of course, she has all the things wrong. I can imagine that time that she's sitting in 6 months in perfumes, 6 months in oils, preparing to go and become a wife to someone who recently divorced their wife because their wife didn't do whatever they were demanding. These guys had been drinking for 6 months. The Bible says they've been partying for 180 days. And then they were actually the kingdom of Persia and Medes. Those people were known for having group sex, and sexual orgies. Like, these things are not new. They were happening in those ancient times. And these were people who were just lawless. So for 6 months, they were partying and drinking. And when they were totally drunk, totally wasted, at 6 months, that is when they're like, ambia queen akuje naked, akiwa tunaka crown, akuje atumachie hapa, atuburudishe. Vashti was like, no thanks, I'm not going to do that. And then what happens to her? She's ousted out. And then you come in. I mean, this is not even a place you are sure you will last. And I can imagine when she's sitting there 6 months in perfumes, 6 months in oil, preparing for one night with the king. Can you imagine preparing for 1 year to meet one person and then have sex with them? And you remember, when you get into this contest, you don't go back. If you don't qualify to be the queen, you still become the concubine. And so you can imagine this guy, if he had probably shortlisted during Vashti's time, there are 399 concubines at his disposal. And then there are 400 more recruited, including Esther. And then the Bible says, if he remembers your name, akuite by your name, that is when you even mattered to him. And so he slept with these 400 women probably in that 1 year. Esther is waiting for a turn. And then she became queen. But then the drama begins. When Mordecai is coming to ask her, chick, by the way, ukikuja huku, you're not coming to slay and learn about the best makeup styles, and know how to do your highlights. You are coming here for an assignment. And then that is when he tells her, you need to know why you're here for such a time as this. And Esther is just there. He's like, I've not even seen the guy for 30 days. And of course, he was not in a prayer center or on a business trip. He was with the girls. Probably was having a group sex in the palace. And then the Bible says that Mordecai still reminded Esther, you need to know why you're here for such a time as this. And I'm really praying that will be the voice of God to your life as well, regardless of how disappointed you are by where your life is tonight. To just ask yourself, why am I here for such a time as this? Why? Why am I alive? Why did I survive these heartbreaks? Why did I survive these traumas? How did I even get here? And that is the time that Esther stood up and she said, I will go. If I perish, I perish. And she walked into a place where she was not allowed to go if she was not summoned. And that was a turnaround. And one of the things I usually say about the story of Esther, the happily ever after never happened during the wedding. Like we were lied to when we were watching all those stories of Cinderella and everyone. It actually started at the end on chapter 10. That is when everything is starting to work to her favor. And it's because, first of all, she rose up and she accomplished her purpose. And happily ever after comes at the end. And I want us to just reflect and think and probably have this conversation. What were you hoping you will get in marriage that you never did? What were you hoping you'll get in marriage and you never did? What is your story? Just looking back. What were you hoping marriage will give you? You remember that day when you had dreamy eyes, you were so much in love. What were you hoping marriage will give you? Maybe you can start sharing on the chat. Never won anything. Gladys anasema hajawahi shinda kitu. Tuko wengi hapa. People who have never prospered. Yeah, so feel free to share on the chat. I wanted you guys to go into discussion groups. But again, I'm just like, well, let me take a blow for it. Let's just give it a shot. The people who are most talkative, the people who are most talkative will definitely go and lead the conversations there. Let's just take like 10 minutes. We go into breakout rooms. I'll try to make them as many as possible so that we can all get a chance to share. I can see we are 99. So we need like how many groups to be 3 each? 99 divided by 3. Where are the mathematical girls? 30.
That's
so I'll just 33. Awesome. So I will just assign you automatically wherever you find yourself. If you don't want to share, you can just listen in. If all of you don't want to share, I think you can just talk about makeup and then you will come back. And so I'll give you 10 minutes. Yeah, just go ahead and just debrief for just 10 minutes and then we come back and pick it up. Sometimes it's very important to talk and that might be healing for someone else tonight. So hold space for them. All right. So here we are. We'll actually be like 4-4, which is fine. So go ahead to your rooms. anybody can lead. We don't have any group leaders. You are the bosses.
Hello, are we talking? Are we here? Are we talking to each other, this group? Oh, nakwambia video yangu ni giza tupu.
Have you started talking?
Hello, members. Makena. Makena.
Wachokoze kabisa mpaka waongee.
Makena. Karo Kayaga. Members of this group. Tuti.
Rosjoy, maybe you can just share your story. You can just share, encourage them. That can be a good place to start. I know we don't know each other. I'm not sure this was a good decision, but it's just good for people. I know many people have not experienced maybe a breakout room as well. So feel free to take the lead. You can just share something in the remaining 3 minutes.
Okay, Pops.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm in a room with my children. I don't think I'm ready.
Okay.
To share my story. Let me chat my group members.
Question was what
Okay, thanks.
marriage.
Oh, that's there.
Yes, a B.
Oh, it's B. All right.
Yeah. But I never got. I think 3 years down the line, I lost a baby.
Oh, sorry.
And the compassion, the
All right. We can all mute ourselves as we come in. I can hear some happy children over there. Just mute yourself as you come back. Yeah, so good to have you back. I'm totally aware probably this is a very new, strange experience to many of us in terms of maybe you've never joined a coaching program or being part of even a breakout room. So you just go somewhere and then you're stuck with some strangers and then maybe you're an introvert. You're like, oh no, what's happening to me? Yeah. So thanks for having the courage to just participate in this as well. You guys are amazing. I hope you had a moment. I actually kept on hopping in the groups, and it was so good to see some just sharing what's happening in their lives, in their spaces. Yeah, and if you've found courage to share, I mean, that is what we are all about, even being here. It's just being able to communicate that and having people who hold space for you, people who don't judge you. I know sometimes it's very difficult to talk about our lives without having someone who is advising you, someone who is showing you why things are not working for you and how you need to style up. You know, sometimes you just need someone to listen to you and someone who doesn't even have any nice advice. They just give you that nice, warm hug that every wife deserves, to just say, by the way, you're really doing your best. You've really been working hard on this, and I see you. All right. And so these are some of the things that many women shared over all the years we've been doing this program. We've done 17 seasons of Woman Arise, starting from the first one, which was Hadassah Wives. And these are the things that women have been sharing in terms of what they had thought they will find that they never did. I expected I will find love, someone who loved me unconditionally, just love me for who I am. There's many who said, I thought there will be understanding. I never thought that we'll be speaking Spanish and Greek and we never hear each other. Someone said I was expecting romance, we'll be swinging from the door to Nachangua, hapa we go and do it from any other room and on top of the cooker and everywhere. And also romance, you're expecting candlelit dinners every Friday. Umekuwa tukiona siku ya KPLC ndio candles huwa zinakam na unaona kwanga umebuy, You're expecting romance of rose flowers. They don't even remember it's Valentine's Day, despite every corner of town screaming loud for a whole week, And just romance, like you're just expecting someone who will treat you nicely, talk to you nicely. And of course, also provisions. Many of us are financially heartbroken, even from just the surveys we were sharing. We were hoping there will be provision, someone will take care of me, and then I'm taking care of them and their whole clan and their all relatives, plus their children. I'm the one who is carrying this weight. And of course, it can be very overwhelming. And then also you're expecting he will forgive me. I know I will blow it up. But some of us, for many years, it just keeps on reminding you what's wrong with you and how you'll never change. And sometimes it really just blows out the wind from your sails, when you just keep on, all the records are brought out, especially those of us who are talkative. Our husbands never forget how horrible we are, and they keep on pulling it out. And we shall be sharing all these juicy stories. And then, of course, the other thing is you're expecting you'll find purpose in marriage. There'll be a sense of direction and settledness in my life. And then you just find that I have more questions than answers when I got married. It's like even the little purpose I had was squeezed out of me. I just feel like my life is I'm just drifting in life. Even the things that were exciting me, I've lost interest in them. And the other thing was happiness. I thought I would be so happy because all the stories I watched of Cinderella and Kila Mtu, it was just, and they lived happily ever after. And then you're like, where did happiness go? The last time I was happy, I didn't have this ring on my finger. And then, of course, there's also acceptance. You're hoping that you will be accepted unconditionally. You knew you had weaknesses, you had shortcomings, but you didn't know that someone will really reject you and spite you. You're just hoping you'll find acceptance. Some of us were hoping we'll find healing in marriage. I'll just find healing. I will find a space where I'm allowed to heal. Because some of us come from very traumatic childhood, very troubled, even teenagehood. And you're just hoping that this will be the place I will start unpacking the healing, because we had also watched a lot of movies. We had seen crazy people like us being loved to life and to transformation. Some of us were expecting leadership. You're hoping you'll have that priest in your home who will be leading you and praying for you, laying his hands on you. I don't know whether you guys saw this trend of the guy. He's actually our friend, the one who was putting pads he was putting pads for the wife, changing pads. He was just showing how he's taking care of his wife. And of course, when it comes to leadership, it's also, I was hoping he will be on the front. And then I keep on finding myself making decisions in our family. I'm the one who is making decisions for the kids. I'm the one who is deciding our future. I had not bargained for this. And then some of us were hoping we will be fulfilled. Like I'll just be fulfilled. There'll be a sense of satisfaction and fulfillment and just that quiet calm within me. And then it's never there. There's more emptiness. Some of us were expecting fidelity. He will be faithful to me. He had told me I was it. Mimi ndio tosha mboga. And then right now there are so many others. I've even lost count. And then some of us were hoping you'll find compassion, someone who is very compassionate. They will understand. There's someone who said the way one day they had a very bad headache, like a migraine. And then their baby who was a few months old. And then the guy just woke up and showered and left to go and hang out with the boys. She was like, wow, I had not seen this one. I was just hoping that you will stay home or at least take care of me and just ask me what I need. Niulize kama na kunyonga panadol ama mara moja. That compassion of I am unwell. Some of us, it was oneness. I just thought we will be one. And then we have grown into two strangers, two different people. We are more different even than when we were just friends. And of course, these are expectations that we will come and just feel like, yeah, by that was heartbreaking. And one of the things that we love talking about wives is the showroom issues. The fact that when you're looking for a house to buy, in every construction site, there's usually this one house that is furnished. Everything is perfect. You know, everything is just the way you like it. And then the day you will sign your deed and take over your house, I mean, it will just be a house with probably cream walls or white walls. And then you're the one who needs to figure out how you'll make it look as good as what you had seen. And where did we get our showroom issues? Where did you see all those pictures that never materialized in your own life? You know, there was a lot of conditioning that happened in our childhood that gave us this showroom expectation of marriage. There's something we had seen and we had hoped that is what we are buying when you're going into marriage. You had seen that corner seat, mpaka ulikuwa umeona penye wewe utakaa, penye atakuwa anakaa. There was a 2-seater love seat. Nobody had told you how expensive these things are. You know, nobody had told you that one of those pieces that are on those shelves, just that one item is probably around 50,000. Nobody had told you this screen is 300,000. And so when we came in, we thought that, you know, this is what I had seen. It has to be free. And it's because we thought we are buying the showroom. And this showroom was the conditioning of all the soap operas we watched. I was a hopeless romantic when I was growing up. I loved listening to the Sundowner, you know, those days of KBC, Itaya Taifa. We'll sit in the evening, just listen to Sundowner. I knew all the love songs. We used to write the lyrics in school. I just used to hope one day I will be able to sing those words to someone and they will make sense. Right now, they don't even make sense. It's even worse. Those words are a scam. You know, I'll be your cloud up in the sky. I'll be your shoulder when you cry. And when all hope is gone, I am here. It doesn't make difference who you are. I'm your angel. You know, those songs, but we used to listen to them and cry. And it's because those were the showroom's issues. We were conditioned in a certain way. You know, and then when the reality came, it was just a room that was empty. And so many of us are sitting in that empty room, wondering whether we even needed the house, and also wondering where do we even start. And some of us have been sitting in the empty room for so long, we even got used to it being empty as it is. It's like we've given up on the showroom. And should we keep on hoping for the showroom even? We will find that out as I keep on journeying together. But I just want you to be aware of what are your showroom issues? Where did it even come? I will cross the ocean for you. Frida, nakuona, I'm now judging you as the other hopeless romantic here. Where did we come up? And of course, when you think about the showroom, it is because all this conditioning came from different quarters in our lives. It is something you've been conditioned for so many years. Even right now, as you think of your disappointment in marriage, where did that expectation come from? Where did it come from? Even that man that lives in your head in terms of how your husband should be or should have been, where did they come from? A lot of it was conditioning in terms of that is what you needed. Do you even know what you really, really, really needed in your relationship, in your marriage? Whether it's your current marriage or your previous marriage, what exactly did you need? And are you able to sit down with a 5-year-old and really ask her what she needed? Yeah, we watch soap operas. Where else, by the way, let's share a bit. Where did the expectations we had come from? Of course, it was the soap operas, it was the love songs. What else? It was every wedding you attended in your church and you listened to that pastor preaching fire and brimstones on the bride and the groom. You're like, yeah, by the weddings, Rose Joy, that is true. Weddings will really make you a hopeless romantic. What else? Yeah. Gladys anasema stories za jaba. Okay, that one I had not seen it coming. Yeah. And of course, also being your daddy's favorite. By the way, our daddies also conditioned us because we thought there's a man who will come and love you the way your dad loves you, which has not happened, Bana. Those people are not looking for daughters. They're looking for wives, you know? And of course, some of them have also not been brought up even by functional families, so they don't know what to give. They're also coming to collect. Hata walikuwa nakuja kupokea muujiza. And then I'm on top of the world looking down on creation. You're the only one. Where Alice, that is new. And then novels. Yeah, but this is what was Sidney Sheldon, na Robert Ludlum. We read those 300 pages novels and we never used to pass the other exams. But honestly, my English, not so bad. Those novels didn't go to waste. And then being daddy's favorite. Yes, your upbringing as well. Some of us had parents who had very perfect marriages. And we had just hoped it will be plug and play for us, and then it's not. Yeah, I remember one girl who said the way the dad and mom would hold hands, and then the day she held her husband's hands, like alikuwa namtupa mkono huko, like he was not at all feeling the vibes of romance and let's hold hands. Yeah, fairy tale books, na waona mlisoma hizo stories zote. Na power couples, especially hao wenye wako online, hata si ati ni wa ukweli kabisa. By the ingine, for me, I think because I look as a psychologist, sometimes I can really see cracks on the wall. And then Mills and Boon's novels, yeah. Well, in a group of schools. Me, I never read those ones. Silikuwa wale waniniwa my life in prison, sijui Kiriamete, those were the storybooks growing up. Those ones were not. Yeah, and the love letters in high school imaginations. By those love letters, bana. Zimesprayiwa Cobra. Na Bintel Sudan. Yes, those ones also were a scam. And then marriages we judged from their covers. That is true, Wangari. Especially the way we saw people married for 50 years. In the past, especially for us who are probably millennials, it's not just about the longevity of the marriage, it's also the quality of the marriage. So in the past, we used to admire people who would last through the thick and thin, but we didn't know it was one person who had to give up their life for the marriage to be sustained. And these are some of the things we shall be unpacking in the Bold Wives Masterclass. What are the dynamics of a healthy marriage? And relatives that one thought had a perfect marriage. Yeah, that is true. We had those power couples in our family reunions until we discovered they were offline, they were very abusive. Stories from friends, that is true. Over 18s, I will see relationships kwa mtaa on relationships. Over 18s, yeah. And by the parents magazine ilikuwa na power couples. Ndio walikuwa na to serve couple goals kabla social media ijekam. And then from seeing our own parents, Barbara Cat, sasa ona watu Barbara Cat na Barbara Catland, sisi hatukuona hiyo. Yeah, Judy Titanic movie really moved our hearts. We are still ever crying, and then those movies no longer make sense when you grow up. Yeah, Anita is also on the soap operas and the movies. The Rainmaker by John Grisham. Celine. Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, by the way, ndio walikuwa to serve couple goals tukiwa wadogo. Pesita books were romantic. Njoki. I'm not sure I know those ones. John Kiriamete was a horror movie. Those were the creepy movies of our days in terms of literature. Most of the power couples show in cover-ups, yeah. The Bold, where the Bold and the Beautiful, that is true. Hey, my mother was always there. I've never forgotten. My mother was like, inakusaidiaje kiroho? The way we'll be there. Stima ikipotea, will be so heartbroken watching the Bold and the Beautiful. If you didn't read Mill, Bones, tell God thank you, reality. Yeah, all this. Yeah, and church as well. Yeah, thank you guys for sharing. That was so interesting. We are also switched on. Nampaka kuna Dallas I never saw. But all these are the places that conditioned us over time. And this showroom kept on being more and more beautiful and very, very unrealistic. But tulikuwa tunasikia kweli. Tukiandika hizo lyrics na kuzispray Cobra tukitumanga. That is what our reality was in terms of what marriage will be. And of course, those are showroom issues. In a way, if today I peeled back my unrealistic expectations and what I thought it will be, and I come back to reality, it will really, really be different. And one of the things that I want us to do tonight, even as we are thinking about our dreams, our hopes, our broken hearts maybe, it is to give yourself permission to grieve. Some of us are so hardened by what you've been going through. Yesterday morning, as I was walking, yesterday I had so many errands, like I chappered around. Yesterday I did 17,000 steps. I normally have an aim of 10K every day. And I remember in the morning, it was probably around 9 when I was walking up to City Market. I remember just having this sense of so much grief in terms of what we are going through. Of course, I've just been looking at the profiles when we were signing up, the things we are going through. And I was just like, we are a virtual Excel sheet that is full of also grief in terms of the things we've gone through. And I don't know how you handle grief in your life, what you even know about grief. And sometimes we usually think we should only grieve when people die, but we don't grieve for lost opportunities. We don't grieve for lost dreams. We don't grieve that we're not where we wanted to be. And how we grieve, number one, we need to replay everything. Just allow yourself to sit down with your reality in terms of your story, page by page, chapter by chapter, season by season. Allow yourself to unpack. Some of us need to even grieve before marriage. And one of the things that we will be exploring in one of the sessions is the fact that whatever we go through marriage, sometimes we're not just grieving, excuse me, we're not grieving the open wound right now. We're actually grieving that it's a reinfection of a wound that was always there for such a long time. And all these relationships, they just keep on festering those wounds. It's like they keep on just peeling them back. They start bleeding again. But when we came, we still had some things we not dealt with. And it's important for us to grieve even before marriage. Grieve back in your childhood. Some of us have never sat down with our reality in terms of how broken our lives have been, even without those men coming in. And we need to replay everything. And then you also need to feel everything. Many of us have grown up in places we were ashamed how to feel. I remember, like in our family, feelings were never validated. I don't know whether that is your story. Nobody validated your pain. Nobody validated your concerns. And we need to feel everything. In one of the programs we have called Emotionally Bold Woman, we usually talk about you need to feel your feelings. Like that is a skill you need to learn. Feeling all your feelings, validating your feelings, holding space for yourself. And you're like, perhaps what are you feeling? Are you feeling sad? Or are you feeling angry? And there's something called feelings chart that I'm going to share on the group so that you can just learn how to verbalize what you feel. You need to have vocabularies for emotions so that you know what exactly are you feeling and what does that mean? What is that feeling telling you? Do you know two people can be crying? One of them is crying because they are feeling shame. Another one is crying because they are feeling angry. Another one is crying because they're feeling sad. Their dynamics are different. And you need to feel everything. Feel everything you've been through. Feel everything you've gone through. And then the other thing is you need to process everything. And one of the ways you're going to process is to journal, which is what we shall be doing. I don't know whether you'll do it tonight, which will be really awesome. If you can just spend another 30 minutes after this session, which is about to end in another probably 20 minutes, sit down with yourself and just allow yourself to really feel what you're feeling and to just write down the things you're disappointed about, the things that are hurting you. If you know you can find time tomorrow, maybe for those of us who are not so busy and you're not waking up into a frenzy mode, probably do it in the morning when you wake up. Just sit somewhere by yourself. Some of us will need to make time for this, probably during the day. Over lunchtime, just go and eat lunch alone and try to journal. You need to process. And processing is how you progress through emotions. Anything you don't process does not live. It just hibernates. It gets buried in your subconscious. It keeps on slowing you down. It clogs you up. You know, it really saps strength out of even things that are not related. And that is why you need to process. And the other thing, you also need to redefine and redesign, which is why we are here. We want to redefine our lives. We want to redesign our lives. We want to choose what we want it to mean. We want to choose how we want the story to end. Because our happily ever after is our choice. You are the one who gets to choose what happily ever after looks like. And of course, God is happy to help each one of us because all our stories are different. And this is the self-work we shall be embarking on tonight. I know it's a lot, but like I said, coaching programs, you need to do the work for it to work. So you need to grieve the misses in your life. Just grieve everything that you feel you've missed, you've lost. Just grieve. Some of us cannot even believe that we are single. We really fought hard to just keep that status. You can't believe. Like I know someone who shared and they said, when they were writing, they just saying they were abandoned. Like he walked out on me. He left me. I was willing to put up with all the crap. And then he just walked up and left. And so you need to grieve that. We need to grieve all the invisible losses. So many of us have losses that other people can't see, that we keep on grieving every day. And I know you've really been brave. You've really been trying to hold everything up. You've really been trying to keep it together because of the children. But you also need to give yourself permission to grieve. Let down your hair. And I really love this scripture that is in Jeremiah 31. Is it 31 verse 15? Anyway, when I remember, I'll post it. It says, a voice was heard in Ramah, and Rachel was crying for her children, refusing to be comforted because they were normal. And I was just looking at that picture of I refuse to be comforted. I refuse to live in false comfort that everything is perfect. If I'm not okay, I'm not okay. And so give yourself permission to live in that space. And that is what we're going to do tonight. We are going to stay here a bit more, just for another 5-10 minutes. And then I'm going to play some music. And we are just going to allow ourselves to feel our hearts and to feel our pain and to just invite God into that space and to just tell him to help us. Because do you know, even for us who are probably, please keep yourself muted. Even for those of us who are probably divorced, like legally, and it's gone. For example, even if today your husband walked in and he came back, you know it's possible that we don't go back to the same place unless God really heals us. And God, please mute yourselves. I don't know why guys have started unmuting themselves. Mute yourself and make work easier for purity. Don't touch that dial. And then, of course, the other thing we shall be doing, let me just first of all finish the briefing. We shall be in the Bo WhatsApp group where we shall be doing the debrief. And of course, in the Bold Wives WhatsApp group, if you're not in it, the link is on the chat. Probably it can be reposted once more. Please join that group. That is where probably most of the action will be happening. That is where I'll post the resources and anything, including the song for tonight, so that you can just use it later. And of course, you'll need to read the Reconfidence chapter 14. This is a book I've done called Reconfidence, Get Your Ball Back, this book. So if probably you need this book, please grab your copy. You can just go on Nuria Bookstore and buy one, or you can buy an ebook, which is 1,000 bob. So I'm going to post these details on the group in case you want to start your own journey. Chapter 13, it's actually about that part of adjusting expectations so that you start coming to this place of just facing our realities, looking at our losses and being able to peel back in terms of what can I do and which way do I move. And then, of course, when you think about the dream, this is what the dream marriage means. Even as we think about whether it's right now or in future, for those of us who are still trusting God to remarry, I'm going to ask Gladys Kinoti, please read for us what dream marriage means. Are you there, Gladys?
Yes, I am, Coach. Thank you.
All right.
The dream. Dream marriage is where both partners put in the effort to achieve their unique happiness, where value, respect, and appreciation are apparent, a place where intimacy, communication, and connection can thrive. We acknowledge that not every day will be good, but that every moment together should be intentional.
Awesome. Thank you. And of course, when you think about dream marriage, it is, I love this picture that is here. This is what we were dreaming about when we were young. We had hoped we will grow all together. There will be that sparkle in the eye. There will be that tender affection. I mean, some of us look at even our grandparents and we can just see how hostile and kind they are to each other. In a way, yeah, it's okay. You guys have been together for 60 years, but it doesn't look so great. This is not inspiring, you know? But even finding this place of dream marriage, we've said you need to redefine your showroom. You need to remember that it's an empty room. And one of the things about an empty room, whatever you want, you need to bring. We come into those places to bring, not just to take. And the moment is that all the conditioning we've gone through has been to take. But when you look at this dream marriage portrait, we are both putting effort. And then there's the aspect of unique happiness. By that, there is no standard script, standard, what is it called? Standard script for happiness. Even for me and James, whatever is happiness to James is not happiness to me. And that is why unique happiness is what that means to me. What is my value? What is my respect? What is my appreciation? And we shall be looking at that even in terms of boundaries. And also intimacy, value, and connection is thriving. And then, of course, I don't expect that I will always have the goosebumps. You know, whenever I see James walking in the room, I have goosebumps. No, sometimes there are no even bumps. Sometimes there is no even goose. Sometimes there is nothing. But those days that we choose to stay because there was something, and some of us who upped and left because we just kept like it was too much. There was too much violation, and the only way was the way out. And we really honor where we are tonight. And tomorrow we shall be looking at the reality check. But before that, I want us to just spend some time to do a song. And as we're doing this song, I just want you to allow your life to reel before you and just ask yourself what you need to grieve in terms of what is my story, what has been my journey, what has my journey been like, and what are some of the things that I am facing as my reality tonight. I love this song. It talks about even when it hurts. I hope it's coming on screen here. The ones who came in early probably got to listen to it. And I love this song because it talks about just being able to sit with that pain and that space and be able to still praise God. And I want us to just see God as someone who is willing to help us where we're stuck. Before the noise came in, I was saying there's seasons in our lives where sometimes things can be perfect. For example, even that infidel husband stops cheating, he totally transforms, he comes back home. But if God has not healed you, and God has not restored you, and God has not bound up those wounded places in our lives, it is possible that what we have thought will make us happy will still not be happy. You know, we'll be thinking like, this is it for me. And then when you have that it for you, you're not even happy. And tomorrow we shall be looking at variants of wives, and to just realize that, by the way, happiness is not out there, it's in here. It's an inside job, and we shall be looking at how. But meanwhile, I want us to just listen to this song, and I just want you to own these words and feel your own journey and choose to grieve what it is not.
Take this fainted heart, take these tainted hands, wash me in your love, come like grace again. Even when my strength is lost, I'll praise you. Even when I have no song, I'll praise you. Even when it's hard to find the words louder than I'll sing your praise. I will only sing your praise. Take this mountain weight, take these ocean tears, hold me through the trial, come like hope again. Even when the fight seems lost, I'll praise you. Even when it hurts like hell, I'll praise you. Even when it makes no sense, just sing louder than I'll sing your praise. Ooh, I will only sing your praise. Ooh, I'll only sing your praise. Oh God, I will only sing your praise.
Lord, we just pray that you may fill our hearts with praise tonight. Some of us, our hearts are bleeding. We are on the verge of despair. Some of us are struggling with depression. Some of us have lost the meaning of life. Some of us, Lord, we are so broken. We don't even know how to wake up tomorrow and still keep on fighting. Some of us, Lord, we are so angry. We are so angry. Some of us have so much bitterness. Some of us have so much rage within ourselves. We feel so much hatred. And we just come to you. We come to you because we know you care, you understand. We know that we are not alone. Even through this valley with the shadow of death, we just pray for courage that we will fear no evil. And one day we will look back and we'll be so grateful that we kept going. Lord, I just pray for comfort. Lord, I just pray, even as we keep on just coming and spending time here together, that I'll keep on seeing you, Lord, and just sensing you, Lord, and feeling your love and feeling your kindness. And I don't know what's going on in your life or what is your story, But tonight we're just praying that God will just lift off some burdens from our shoulders. You know, there are those places. I love a statement that is in the book called The Lady, Her Lover, and Her Lord by T.D. Jakes. I remember I read it kitambo when I was probably in college, just a young adult. And one statement that really stood out for me was him saying there are moments when the lover will fail the lady. And those are the moments that she needs to run to her Lord. Just that picture, even tonight, of a little girl who is hurt, and then they run up to their daddy and they crawl up to his laps, and then they just sit there, not because he will do anything, maybe there's no antiseptic or anything, but just that presence that will be so comforting and healing. And I'm praying that you being here for these 3 days will just be that hug, that big hug, that hug of God over your life that will just make you feel all right, even when all is not all right. And Lord, we just pray for that sense of you coming near and helping us. Some situations we are going through are so helpless. There's no hope. They are battle courts, oh God, that we're just feeling like we are losing it. So many battles that look like we are losing, even financially. Some of us are not even able to take care of our children. We don't even know where to start. We don't know where to turn to. But tonight we just keep on showing up faithfully. And it's because we are your little girls. We just show up. We don't know what you will do with us. We don't even know how you'll stop the bleeding, but we are here. We just pray, Lord, that we shall feel you embracing us and calming us down with that voice that reassures us that you are in control and you work everything together for good. Makes sense, but we just want to believe that there's nothing you cannot do for your little girls. And we are those little girls tonight. And we have absolute confidence in a good, good Father. Some of us have even lost faith in God in a way. We're feeling like, where were you? Some of us probably, or even the marriages that are really troublesome and the things we've gone through has been in the men of people that we thought loved God. And even now, God, we just turn to you. There's a time that was so difficult for the disciples in John 6, chapter 66. And Peter is like, Jesus was like, people started leaving. So it was like this big crusade. Watu wamejaa, show imebamba. And then the Bible says people started upping and leaving. And then Jesus turned to his disciples and he looked at them and he was like, hata nyinyi mnataka kwenda? And then Peter said, where else can we go? You have the words of life. And some of us are hanging on a thread, but we know we are just hanging in there. Even if sometimes we feel like there's nothing. And Lord, we just pray that you shall just come and encourage this little faith we have. Some of us probably we are so indifferent about God. And Lord, we just pray that you will even come and help us, come and sit with us in this darkness. Just reassure us that you are with us. Because where else can we go? You have the words of life. And it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, ladies, it's been a very wonderful night together. I can't wait for tomorrow again. Same time, same place, same link. I hope all of us are in the group by now. So I'll be sending the songs and probably things that we need to do. Just a brief on the assignments. And then we will see you tomorrow, same time at 8. Yeah, if you miss out and you're not able to join the live class, feel free to join also on the YouTube. Thank you to all guys who are on the YouTube, even when we went to the breakout rooms. I know it was a bit boring. Thanks for hanging in there. All right. Good night. God bless. Lots of love. Let's keep on journeying together. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.